opportunity. Truly, Mosaic Gathering, thank you for engaging in this process. Thank you, leadership of Mosaic, for thinking about this. And this is something I personally care about. I literally have 5 minutes to speak into this, and I encourage you guys to get going on with this. So we thank our judges, Dr. Dana Harris, Gianluca, and Karina will be judging us today. And I personally love judging, and I enjoy it because, let me tell you why. Judging is great. It releases you from that fear of being who you are and invites you to an opportunity to ask the question, why? So I think we should always judge, as long as we take the judging to the next level to say, why is that way? Why am I responding this way? Why am I judging? So I look forward to hearing all the judging that happens today. But my job today really is just to encourage you to continue this exercise and tell you why I think it's a great idea. First of all, my own conviction is truly in the ways in which the Lord has allowed me to operate in the world. I have come to believe that the church is the only institution fully equipped to solve the world's problems. Hallelujah.
Amen.
I have had a chance to work in public service. I've done private sector. I have done all these non-government organization work. But ultimately, people, the Bible is it. And the church is the best suited institution to do this. So we're in the right business of thinking about the ways in which we can do this. I'm an eternal optimist. I always believe that good things are going to happen. So this kind of thing does make a lot of sense for me. But also, it's a very biblical exercise that we're engaging in. God is the OG when it comes to what we're doing right now. He is the OG of thinking about design and transformation. He literally looked into this vast thing and said, what could be? And we had humans, and we had animals, and we had plants, and we had all of creation. The Lord himself, God our Father, is the original design thinker. And we, made in his image, are called to do exactly the same as people who are image bearers. And I believe that we're invited to do that. When we look at Genesis, we see that the Lord looked at what could be. He's a God of possibilities, and we're invited into that. Secondly, this is a stewardship opportunity. We've seen the parable of the talents. What is it that you do with what you're given? We look at the story of the feeding of the 5,000 in Mark. President Perrin helped us to think well about that as you do stock taking and see ways in which you can grow into that. I truly believe that this exercise is not only a stewardship issue, but also a faith exercise, an opportunity for us to see the ways in which God can work with what we have. It's an opportunity for us to step outside where we are and look into the possibilities of what God can do. All of the scriptures are riddled with story after story of the ways in which people who operated with a posture of what could be saw the ways in which God worked. And I believe that that can be our experience today as well. We have done great work in thinking about appreciative inquiry with the Mosaic initiative. Many of you are familiar with this work, and we've had a wonderful time over the 3 years we've worked together so far, seeing how handling and wrestling with that question well can bring great things. Last week we had from Pastor EJ about, the work they're doing there. And they're doing jiu-jitsu as a way of reaching people. Like, talk about getting something you have and seeing how God can bring something creative out of it. And many of our 12 churches are doing great work with what they have. And we're seeing ministries for young adults, with young adults, being birthed in Waukegan. And trust me, by the time we're done with the 5 years, your minds are going to be blown with the ways in which God is going to be working. Because we are doing this every day, all day at the initiative. Student leaders had the opportunity to participate in an appreciative inquiry as well. And those of you who did engage in it, we asked you the question again, what is it that you have in your hand? And we're enjoying the way in which both our student government and the graduate student government are starting to use these principles to rethink the ways in which we engage in our community here. I believe in this process. It is biblical, it is an act of stewardship, it is an exercise in faith, and for people like me who like to win, this is a great place to win well for the glory of God. So I would like to invite you to enter into this exercise in this way. We're going to ask that people present just for 2 minutes. Not everybody has to do it. Some of you may not be comfortable being judged out here, but I want to invite you to lean into this experience and enjoy it as a time for us to stretch and learn and grow from one another. We looked at the issues of a casino coming up in Waukegan, and our hope is truly that our conversation here can actually translate to real life impact in the community in which we as Trinity have loved and resourced and chosen to partner with by you guys working with Waukegan pastors and communities and receiving them and loving them and growing with them. And I'm excited to see the ways in which you do this. Dr. Guthrie, maybe 3-4 years ago, said this to us. God makes more pie. Yeah. God makes more pie. He does not have a scarcity mindset. There's always more for each one of us. And I believe that as we engage in this, let's see the ways in which God can make more pie with what we have for the glory of God, for the good of ourselves, and hopefully this exercise will translate into your own lives. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to have the panel judges, Dr. Dana Harris, Karina, and Gianluca. We will have each one of, I hope we can get up to 10 or more, present for 2 minutes, and I'm just going to ask you to come up, and when 2 minutes is up, I will let you know 2 minutes is up. And then we'll listen and engage, ask some questions, and be able to hear from the judges the ones they think did well. Okay, is that pretty clear? I participated in this exercise, and because I want to be fair, I will abstain painfully because I enjoy competing. But yeah. So anybody ready to go? Would love the first people. Come and share your idea in just 2 minutes. Tell us what you did and what you think your solution is for the situation. Okay, let's go.